everybody. My name is Dr. Cheryl Neely, and this is Sociology 2510. In this video, I want to introduce you to the expectations for the course, as well as go over the syllabus for the class. Now, I teach 7 sections, but it doesn't matter what section you're in, because what I'm covering in the syllabus applies to all of my classes. So this is the Introduction to Sociology course, and if we were face-to-face, I would go over the syllabus on the first day of class. So, again, I'm Dr. Cheryl Neely. I've been teaching at Oakland Community College full-time for about 12 years now, but in total, 15 years because I started as a part-time adjunct. This is the introduction class to sociology, and I teach 7 sections this semester. I also teach criminology, but I only teach that in the fall or in the winter. One other point about me, I have 3 degrees in sociology, bachelor's, master's, PhD, all from Wayne State University. So if we were in class, I'd kind of give you an overview of who I am. Now let's get into the syllabus. This is a remote class, obviously, so you're going to be learning online. But let me put you at ease. We will not, I repeat, we will not be learning through Zoom. I will not sit in front of the computer and lecture for 3 hours. Okay, that's not how this class flows. But what I will do is put PowerPoint videos on D2L. Everything happens through Desire to Learn. So it's very important that you're familiar with how to log on to Desire to Learn and how to access the information. And when I post information on D2L, that's what we call it, Desire to Learn D2L, I will always send you an email letting you know when I posted something. And if it has a deadline, I'll repeat what the deadline is. So it's very important that you check your email on a regular basis because that's going to be our primary mode of communication. But the email you're going to have to use for this class is your Oakland Community College email, your student email. So if you got a Gmail account or you have a Comcast account or whatever the case may be, I will not be sending you anything to those accounts. We only operate through Oakland Community College's email system. But there is a way for you to link your private email to your OCC email. So if I send something to OCC, it'll automatically send you a notification to your other email. Now, I personally don't know how you link the two, but you can contact the student help desk and they can tell you how to do that. Frog in my throat. Okay, so let's continue. So this is a remote class and we will not be meeting face-to-face, but I will be using Zoom for office hours. So if you want to get in touch with me and you want to go over some information that wasn't clear in the lecture or you need to talk to me about something, then you would email me and let me know. And I'll send you my personal Zoom meeting link and then we can meet over Zoom. So I will use Zoom for student meetings or office visits, but I won't use Zoom to teach. So again, I put PowerPoint lecture slides on D2L, and on each slide, there's either a video clip like this one with me explaining the information, or there's an audio clip that you click on and you listen to, and it'll also be me talking through the material that's in the lecture. So it's very important that you watch all of the video clips as well as listen to the audio clips. It's very, very important that you do that because for many of you, this is your first time learning sociology. So this information, I know in my sleep, but for many of you, this might be your first experience with a sociology course. So it's important that you listen to the audio clips and you look at the video links so that you can better understand the information. And I promise you, I try to be as interesting as possible when I lecture so that you don't, go to sleep or snooze off. So let's go back into the syllabus. Okay, so let me see. So again, office hours are available through Zoom. There is assistance available if you need any kind of tutoring. We are providing tutoring or academic assistance online. So you would go to the OCC main webpage and you would look for Academic Support Center. I think it's under current students. So the Academic Support Center is where you would access information for online tutoring. And I do have that here in the syllabus. Okay, an end grade. Now, this is very important. We're not going to be meeting in class, so I won't be able to take attendance face to face. But there is a way that I take attendance, and that is through you completing assignments. There is a quiz, a 5-question, 5-point quiz after each lecture. You're expected to complete that quiz after you listen to the lecture, but there's a deadline for the quiz. So if I put the lecture up on, let's say you're in my Monday class, I'll put it up on Monday. That lecture, those lecture notes will stay up until after the third exam. But the quiz has a deadline. So the quiz will have to be taken by, let's say, Wednesday of that week. You can look at the video, you can look at the notes anytime you want, but understand there's a deadline for the quizzes. So it's important that you take the quizzes before the deadline. But when you take your first quiz or you complete whatever assignment online you need to within those first 3 weeks, that will count for attendance. But if you don't complete any quizzes or any online work within those first 3 weeks, that means you weren't attending class. Therefore, you will receive an N grade, which means a no-show. But for those of you that complete the class or complete the work during the beginning of the class, that will constitute for your attendance and you'll be fine. So remember, a no-show grade will be given to any student that does not complete work within the first 3 weeks. Okay, let's move on. Let's see. Okay, FERPA, F-E-R-P-A, stands for the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, which means I protect your privacy as a student in my class. So if someone sends me an email trying to ask about you as a student in my class, I will not answer that question without you giving me permission to do so. We do have students that have disabilities that receive services through our Access department. I will get an email from them letting me know that you need some additional supports to help you in the learning process. Once I get that email, I'll make the adjustments. Okay, so if you look at the catalog description, it'll explain to you what sociology is about and what you can expect to be covered in this class. Sociology, in a nutshell, is the scientific and systematic study of what we call society, the world we live in. And it covers a gamut of topics. We'll look at sociological theories, research methods. We'll look at deviance, social class. We'll compare the United States to other nations globally, things of that nature. So it covers any and everything pertaining to society, the world in which we live, and how we as human beings come together collectively to create the worlds we live in. That's what sociology is about. Okay, so there's one textbook for the course. The title of the textbook is Society, the Basics. Society, the Basics by John J. Mashonis. That is the only book you will need for this class. And unfortunately, when I left my office for the last time, I didn't take a textbook with me. But if you contact the online bookstore at OCC, they know the book you'll need for this class. If you read your syllabus, it has the title of the book. You can go online and purchase a copy that way. Now, sometimes students ask me, do you need the book? Yes, you do. Do you need to read everything in the chapter? Absolutely not. The only thing you need to read is what I covered in class. If I didn't cover it in class or cover it in the notes, ignore it. You can move past it because I will only test you on what I cover in the lectures. And I do provide a review before the exam, so you'll know exactly what to prepare for the exam. Okay, let's see. Let's move on. Course goals. There are 6 goals for the course. I'm hoping that you will take with you as you learn sociology. You'll understand the 3 major theories in sociology, that you'll understand the importance of who we are and the roles that we perform as we live in the social world, different degrees of social stratification or inequality. We're talking a lot about inequality in our society today. We're in the midst of an election year, so there's a lot of talk about racial inequality, class inequality, gender inequality. We're going to cover all of that. We'll look at how we are socialized, how we learn and internalize our way of life, or what we call culture. You'll understand the differences between fitting in and being a deviant, and also understand the various elements of sociological research. Now I'm going to use a fan because my office is hot as you know what. Okay, again, attendance policy. My attendance policy is, again, that you complete some online work that I provide within the first 3 weeks. So again, after my lectures, there is a quiz, and you're expected to complete that quiz in order for you to earn points for the class, which will determine your grade, but also to confirm your attendance in the class. Now, incomplete. There are times when students may need an incomplete grade, which means that for whatever reason you weren't able to finish the semester and you need to get an incomplete grade. So what an incomplete allows you to do is to take the class again without paying for it. Now, these are the rules for that. This is the number one rule, the college rule for gaining or receiving an incomplete. The incomplete grade is only given to students who have completed at least 70% of the coursework before they request an incomplete. So in a 15-week class, you've completed about 10 to 11 weeks. That would be the point at which you can request an incomplete. If you've only came to class a few weeks and then you want to request an incomplete, according to college policy, I can't give you one. All right, exam and grading policy. So this gets down to the nitty-gritty of what this class, what you can expect in terms of earning your grade. Now, it may seem like there's a lot of work for this class, but you'll be fine. There are 4 exams for the class. There are 10 quizzes for the class. I lecture 10 different times. At the end of each lecture is a quiz. Now, for Lecture 1 is going to be combining Part 1 and Part 2 of Chapter 1. Typically, if we're meeting face-to-face, I split that class into 2 separate weeks because it's a lot of information. But I've combined it for the remote class. So there will be 2 quizzes that you will take after Lecture 1. And then after that, there's only 1 quiz you'll take after the lectures. And again, the quizzes have 5 questions. Each question is worth 1 point. The benefit of taking the quizzes is as follows. 1, it gives you an idea of how I'll ask questions for the actual exam. 2, some of those questions you will see on the exams. So you've got the questions in advance. So if I ask you a question on a quiz, you might see that question again on the exam, which means you already have the answer. Okay, let's see. So there's 4 quizzes, 4 online critical thinking questions. There are 10 quizzes, and there is an online assessment exam. So again, the exams are worth 20 points each. Exam 1 and 2 has 50 questions. Exam 3 has 45 questions. Exam 4 has only 30. My exams are not cumulative. They only cover so many chapters. The quizzes that you will take after each lecture, there are 5 questions. Each is worth 5 points. Each is worth 1 point. So there are 5 points for each quiz. There are 10 of them. So that will give you 50 points. There are 4 exams again. Each is worth 20 points. So that gives you 80 points. So 80 plus 50 is 130. Now, there are 4 online critical thinking questions. I will post a commercial or perhaps a scene from a film, and I'm going to be asking you to apply your sociological imagination, and I'll define what that is in Lecture 1. So I'm going to give you a specific question I'm going to ask you to answer based on that commercial or whatever the video clip is. Each one of those critical thinking questions will gain you 15 points. So there are 4 of them, that's 60 points. So now 80 plus 50 plus 60 puts you at 190 points. You will gain the other 10 points through what I call the online assessment exam. Now, I just previously went over the course goals, what I'm hoping you'll learn from the class. There is actually an online assessment exam I will post at the end of the semester that you'll take before the final. These are cumulative questions. These are questions that came from the exam and the quizzes that you've had before. So the questions won't be new to you. It's just my way of reviewing whether or not, or understanding or gauging whether or not you've understood some of the important points that I'd like you to take away with you as you leave this class. So again, the online assessment exam is just to gauge whether or not you've understood what I believe to be the most salient information in sociology. Okay, so that's how you'll earn the 200 points for this class. 4 exams, 4 critical thinking questions, 10 quizzes, and a 10-point online assessment exam. And depending on how many points you get out of 200 points, it will give you an idea of how you earn an A, B, C, D, or whatever the case may be. Now, the exams are graded as follows. An A will get you 20 points, a B 17 points, a C is 15 points, a D is 10 points, and an E is 5 points. So again, A, 20 points. If you get a B on an exam, it's 17. If you get a C, it's 15, a D, 10 points, and E, 5 points. So even though you failed the exam, I still give you 5 points. If you get an A plus on an exam or a critical thinking question, I'll give you 2 extra points. So that means instead of earning 15 points, 20 points for an exam, you get 22. So an A plus would be for an exam is where you've got 98% of the questions correct or 100% of the questions on the exam correct. That is an A plus, which means you get 2 extra points. Okay, the online critical thinking questions. 15 points is an A. A B on those questions, if I grade you and give you a B, that's 12 points. A C is 8 points, a D is 4 points, and an E is 0 points. So you get no points if you fail the critical thinking question. And the only way I can see you doing that is if you simply write your name on the quiz or you just type your name on the online assignment and send it back to me through D2L. And there's no information for the question. Or I ask you one question and you answer something that has absolutely nothing to do with it, then that's an E, okay? So what I'm saying is it'll be difficult for you to fail the online critical thinking question. It's not difficult, and we'll have a little fun with it. Okay, so I've covered lesson and review quizzes. I've covered the online assessment, just following this along. Okay, lecture notes again are posted on D2L. It's important, very important, that you look at every video clip and that you listen to every audio clip. It's very important that you do that so that you can fully understand the information as I lecture. Okay, now your final grade. I do have a grading scale here, so you'll learn how you earn an A, B, C, D, E, or whatever the case may be. We don't give E's. If we get for a final grade that you failed, if you fail a class, you get an F, not an E. So 184 points to 200 points is an A. 180 to 183 points, A minus. So depending on how many points you earn out of 200 points, that determines your final grade. If you have any questions on this syllabus, email me right away. I'm going to try to get this done in less than 22 minutes. Okay, let's move on. You can drop this class according to a date in the academic calendar. You'll have to look at the academic calendar online, and it'll tell you the last date by which you can drop this class. But if you just stop completing work, but you haven't officially dropped out of the class, then you're going to end up getting an F as a final grade. So academic dishonesty is cheating. And I have some ways here by which you can cheat in the class. But online, how do you cheat? Well, you try to look at your notes or look through the book as you take an exam. This is why the exams and quizzes are timed. So for that 5-question quiz you'll take at the end of each lecture, you only get 5 minutes for 5 questions. That's 1 minute per question. Because if I gave you more time, you might be tempted to go through your notes to find the answer. And once you answer, you can't go back and change your answer. So it's very important that you study, understand the notes, listen to the video links, audio clips before you take the quiz. Same with the exam. The exam is timed. Now, understand there are some people that may require extra time on an exam through the access department. And when they notify me of that, I will make the adjustment. But for everybody else, you have to take the exam within the allotted time provided. There are deadlines for the quizzes. There are deadlines for the exam. I'm going to get into the rules in just a bit, so I'll explain to you what happens when you miss a quiz or you miss an exam. So the exam makeup policy. If you missed the deadline for the exam because you were sick, maybe with COVID, I hope that's not the case, or something to that effect, I'll need to see a doctor's excuse explaining that you could not participate for a period of time, which meant you couldn't take the exam. Without you taking a picture of that doctor's excuse and sending that to me, you're not going to get a makeup exam. So that's how that'll work. Now, extra credit. Sometimes students want to know about extra credit. Can you earn extra credit in the class? Yes, because extra points help you make up for points that you miss. And it's a way to shore up your grade where you do your very best. So extra credit means extra points, which might mean a stronger grade in the class. So how do you earn extra credit? Well, you can earn 10 extra credit points in this class in two ways. One is through online tutoring through the Academic Support Center. So if you go online and you take some type of online tutoring through our Academic Support Center, they're going to send you some type of verification that you participated in online tutoring. If you take part in one of those online tutoring sessions, that's 5 points. You do 2, that's 10 points. So there's your 10 points. Or you can earn extra credit through reading, buying books through the Paper Trail Bookstore. Now, the Paper Trail Bookstore is a bookstore that's located in Royal Oak, right down the street from the Royal Oak campus. I have the address here in the syllabus, 414 South Washington Avenue, and it's called Paper Trail Books. It's a used bookstore, but they have very good, the guy that owns the store, Dave, he has very good books, quality books that aren't lined or highlighted or anything like that. They're like new, but they're used. So they're affordable price. He's got books of every genre. He's got graphic novels, comic books. He's got history. He's got fiction, nonfiction, African-American books. He's got cookbooks, photography, books for kids, books for teens, whatever, rare and historical copies. He's got every kind of or type of book you can imagine at his very cozy bookstore. So if you go to the bookstore and you spend at least $5, oh, I'm past the 22 minute mark, sorry. I'll wrap it up in just a bit. But if you were in class, we'd be going through this thing for about an hour. So I'm doing better by getting through it in this short period of time. But yeah, he has really good books and they're affordable because they're used. But you have to spend at least $5. So your proof to me that you bought a book is he's going to give you a receipt. And you take a picture on your phone or whatever with it, and then you email it to me. And that'll be proof that you went to the bookstore. If you go on one day, spend at least $5, that's 5 points. If you go on a different day, and it has to be on a different day, you buy another book, spend $5. That's another 5 points. So 5 plus 5 is what? 10. So you can earn 10 points through the online tutoring, or you can earn it through the bookstore. But I cap, or the Paper Trail Bookstore, but I cap it at 10 points. Okay, the final exam is mandatory. Again, it's only 30 questions. It only covers the last 2 chapters in the lecture, in the class, or the textbook. So it'll be on chapters 13 and 16. It is not cumulative. 30 questions, you have to take it. If you fail to take the final exam, you will receive, or I will subtract 15 points from your total number of points. So remember, you earn your point based on the number of points you earn in the class. If, and I repeat, if you don't take the final exam, I'm going to subtract 15 points. So if you were at a B, your grade is going to drop to a C or maybe lower. So take the final exam. Okay, let's see. There's a reading assignment schedule in the syllabus. So it tells you the dates for the class, the topics that are being covered, and the chapters we'll be covering. But it also gives you the deadline for assignments. So you'll know when you have your online critical thinking assignment that will be due, and also the exams. So it's very important, again, that you meet the deadlines for your assignments. So again, a quiz will be open for about 2 days. An exam will be open for about 2 days. Once the exam closes, I'm not opening it up again because you forgot the date in which you had to take it. So let's move very quickly into remote learning do's and don'ts for the class. So please observe the following rules regarding remote learning to do your best in the class. 1, check your email regularly because that's the primary way that I'll communicate to you. So you can be aware of dates for exams and written assignments, which are those critical thinking questions. So I'll always send you an email letting you know something's been posted and what the deadline for completion is. Complete your assignments too. Complete your assignments by the deadline I provide in the syllabus. Failure to do so will result in you not getting a grade for that assignment. And I will not extend dates on assignments because you forgot the date or you didn't check your email. I'm not your mom. I'm not your auntie. I'm not here to remind you, oh, make sure you finish the... Nope, you have to do that on your own. Autonomy is what you'll receive, which means you have your own self-control in this remote process. So if you don't exercise responsibility, you're going to miss deadlines and you're going to fail the class. Be sure to listen again to all audio links and video inserts. Make sure you watch those videos so that you understand the information. If you're having any technical difficulties, make sure you contact the Student Help Desk through D2L so that you can get the assistance that you need. When you email me, make sure you let me know what section you're in. If you're in my Monday 6 p.m. class or you're in my Monday, Wednesday split class, whatever section you're in, let me know because it'll be easier for me to answer whatever question you may have about an assignment. And office hours, again, are available through Zoom. So if you send me an email request for an office visit, I will send you the link to my Zoom. And just like, you see my face here, you'll see my face on Zoom, and we can discuss whatever issue you might have. So I think that just about covers it. And I'll end the video here. So I hope this was helpful for you to understand what you need to anticipate for Sociology 2510 with me, your professor, Dr. Cheryl Neely. Take care, stay safe, and stay well.